Bah, si elle est enregistrée, je peux la revoir après.
Exactement.
Hello, colleagues. Let's check the mics.
Hello, do you hear me?
Hi. Yes, I can hear you, Olga. Can you hear me?
Yes, everything is okay.
Very good. Ah, what a high rock. How is it going?
Good, we already have some participants.
Sure.
Hello, good
Hello.
afternoon.
Oh, no, who was that? That's Naima.
Yes, hello, Peter. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine, thanks. Yes, and you?
Good, good, doing well, thank you.
Good. Where are you based?
I'm based in Muscat, Oman.
Ah, right. Ah, good.
Hello.
Hello, Stella.
Hello. Nice
Hi.
to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Klaus Peter, how are you?
Thank you. I
And
close my
Maria.
video because I have a bad connection. Sorry. Okay.
Okay, no
Thank you.
problem.
Thank you.
No problem.
La vitesse avec l'idole, ça change d'ambiance. Voilà.
J'aimerais bien retrouver le...
Hmm.
Sure.
Oui.
Hello, everybody. I see that people are still joining. Shall we meet like a minute or two and then we will start?
Deux secondes, je suis sur un Zoom là.
Not much more because otherwise we are wasting our valuable time.
C'est lundi de Pentecôte. Je suis en session. Il y a les certifications.
Hi, hello.
Jeudi, j'ai moyen, mais j'ai un groupe avec moi, ça va être compliqué. C'était jouable. Hein? Je dis c'est jouable. Mais j'ai 5 galons avec moi. Pareil? Ouais. Ok, jeudi alors. Ouais. Très simple. Ok.
But I guess we will start, and I will ask people to mute themselves to avoid unattended or unintended interference. My name is Riina Ladalu, and I'm the Vice President of International Council on Monuments and Sites, and I'm Vice President for Europe region. We have 5 Vice Presidents altogether. And as you know, International Council on Monuments and Sites is the most important global organization that unites the heritage experts. And we have a long tradition to participate and to work with the challenges of contemporary world. And it's good to say that many challenges that we are facing right now, for example, the Sustainable Development Goals that we are talking today, but as well climate action, energy efficiency, etc., are actually, in fact, the core values and principles of heritage protection. So these are the topics that the world is now talking about, what the heritage people have been talking for ages. And today we are going to present you the activities that ICOMOS is leading and cooperating with many other organizations in the Sustainable Development Goals, and namely advocating for adding the goal of culture in the Sustainable Development Goals. And we are having regional meetings because we have special focus on different regions. And with this, I'm very happy to give the floor to Dr. Benkari, who is the focal point of ICOMOS in the Sustainable Development Goals Working Group of ICOMOS. You're welcome, Naima.
Thank you very much, Reen, for the presentation and for setting the why we are gathered here. Thank you to the audience, the colleagues from the national committees in Europe and North America region. Allow me just to share my the presentation that we will be sharing with you today with my colleagues. So, before starting, I would like just to draw your attention to the fact that the session is being recorded, because a lot of colleagues from the region are not able to attend, and they requested to receive the recording. So this recording will probably be shared with the colleagues from the Europe and North American region. This is for your information. And I will go on. So thank you very much again for giving us your time to share with you our latest efforts as a working group with regards to the Sustainable Development Goals, the localization of Sustainable Development Goals, and our advocacy for Culture 2030 goal. I'm truly pleased to be among you today, alongside many of my dedicated colleagues from the working group, whom some of them will take the floor today. Also, in my capacity of focal point for this working group, this is a role that I see primarily as a point of convergence and synergy. My mission centers on ensuring that the diverse, rich technical expertise of our global network is truly integrated and transformed into a unified, powerful voice that resonates within the halls of the United Nations with regard to the Sustainable Development Goals. Together, our ultimate aim is to transition ICOMOS or to consolidate the role of ICOMOS in shaping the global policies. So today we are aligning our regional efforts with the global Culture 2030 goal campaign here in Europe and North America. We are fortunate to have a dense ecosystem of heritage expertise and highly advanced reporting infrastructures in this region. Our goal today is to look at how we can collectively leverage our cultural heritage projects to actively influence international sustainable development policies, turning our field's best practices into reportable, policy-ready evidence. Quickly, we review our agenda after the opening from Reen, the Regional Vice President, and my actual address. My colleague Olga Partina will cover the UN context, specifically focusing on how voluntary national reviews, VNRs, and voluntary local reviews, VLRs, are handled in our region. She will also address the Cultural Goal 2030 Coalition and the role of ICOMOS in supporting the call for a standalone goal dedicated to culture in the post-2030 framework. Then Dr. Andres Kairis will walk us through two highly practical, newly launched tools designed to bridge the gap between field-level conservation and ministerial reporting. We will also address regional approach and we will address regional approach in a more practical way and also translations through the colleagues who led the translation of these tools into French and Spanish for this region. And then we will open the floor for the Q&A session and your comments. Before starting this session, or in details, I would like to present our working group who sets itself as a strategic laboratory within ICOMOS. We are a global gathering that includes experts from various regions and disciplines, working hand in hand to translate technical complexities of heritage into the policy language understood by the 2030 agenda. Our mission lies in ensuring that cultural heritage is not just an afterthought in development processes, but rather its foundation and core. Our members represent 44 countries altogether, and they are distributed unevenly across the different 5 regions with a clear concentration in the Europe and North American region. Furthermore, our members represent various working groups, such as the Climate Change Working Group, our Common Dignity Rights-Based Approach Working Group, and the Emerging Professionals Working Group. Our members represent also 21 international scientific committees. This diverse representation is precisely what makes our group mandated by ICOMOS to represent the organization in all matters related to the Sustainable Development Goals and also global policy in this field. One of the most recent occasions where we represented our organization was during Mondiacol 2025 in Barcelona, where I had the honor of coordinating the ICOMOS delegation during this historic global event. There we did not only participate as representatives, we actively led the dialogue. This was particularly evident through a working session coordinated on the transmission of indigenous knowledge. We demonstrated to ministers of culture from around the world that heritage is not just a static relic of the past, but a living, evolving technology for enhancing climate resilience and social justice. This embodies the think tank role of our group to collectively reframe heritage as a driver and enabler of the future. However, a vision without evidence remains just a theoretical narrative. Through my role as the group's focal point, I have witnessed a recurring challenge in the eyes of global policymakers. What cannot be measured definitely does not exist for them. So currently, because culture is treated as merely a transversal element, if altogether, within the Sustainable Development Goals, it often remains invisible in national reports. This is precisely what my colleague Andres will address to tackle this issue. Our task team has produced with utmost dedication to coordinate a unified global strategy. So today we are partners in shaping the Culture 2030 Goal campaign with which my colleague Olga Partina will speak about. We are not just seeking to squeeze culture into the current 17 goals, but we are building a robust evidence base to demand a standalone goal for culture in the post-2030 agenda. The tools we are presenting today, the mapping template and the structural framework, which we had endorsed by our working group and by ICOMOS in this month of May, serve as your strategic ammunition. They are designed to transform your local successes into globally documented evidence in a unified and standardized manner. I have invited our experts, colleagues who led the development of these tools to share their details with us. Olga Partina will explain the context of the Sustainable Development Goals and the role of ICOMOS in founding and working within the Culture 2030 Goal campaign. Dr. Andres Caires will provide a practical demonstration of how these tools function, which have been graphically designed and formatted into a web page by our dedicated communication task team member, Dr. Farnaz Faraji, to whom we are deeply grateful. And finally, architect Angela Lopez Sabater and Dr. Alban Manisi will highlight our shared commitment to multilingualism and how we have localized this global work to serve the European and North American region through its French and Spanish translations. And now, without further ado, I invite my colleague Olga to take over. Olga, please.
Thank you, Naïma. Next slide, please. Merci beaucoup. Bonjour à tous. Je vais commencer en français pour en fait promouvoir la diversité linguistique. Donc aujourd'hui, on va présenter le travail de ICOMOS, de notre groupe de travail et aussi de la coalition donc Culture Goal Campaign. Et donc ce travail, focus de ce travail, c'est de promouvoir le rôle de la culture et de patrimoine culturel dans l'agenda de développement durable de l'ONU. Donc, et là, je pense que je vais switcher à l'anglais. comme prévu initialement. You see the content of the presentation. So we will start with a brief presentation of what are SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. Then we will present where is the place of culture in the current architecture of SDGs. We will talk about the Culture Goal campaign and what is the role of ICOMOS in this campaign. And then we will be talking about reporting system, which exists already at UN level. And then we will be talking about some practical steps, how practically ICOMOS can contribute to the promotion of culture in the future Sustainable Development Agenda. So please, next slide. So let's start with this broader context. As you know, at UN level, there are Sustainable Development Goals. So we call them SDGs, and they were adopted by all United Nations, all the member states in 2015. This is a universal framework, and it joins economic, environmental, and social priorities of the humanity. So here we have all the challenges of the modern times. So these SDGs covers such goals as poverty, as reducing poverty, inequalities, sustainable cities, climate challenges, and all the others. In general, there are 17 goals and 169 targets. So it covers, as I said, all the global challenges, and they are universal. They apply to all countries, no exclusion. And what is important for us today is that this system also has a follow-up and reporting system, which is called VNR and VLR, so voluntary national reports or voluntary local reviews. And these mechanisms actually today open an important space for us, for ICOMOS, to introduce the culture in this current system. Next slide, please. So as I said, in this current architecture of SDGs, culture has a quite explicitly mentioned only once. So in goal number 11, which is about sustainable cities and communities, there is a target and which concerns cultural heritage. And this is, of course, an important recognition, and especially for ICOMOS. But it is really far from sufficient. And the problem is that culture, in reality, plays a much broader and bigger role in sustainable development, not only this small part. Because actually it influences education, inclusion, resilience, and the ability of communities and societies to respond to crisis and all challenges and changes. So, and currently we believe that the place of culture is weakly defined and insufficiently measured, because there is no special place for culture. And this gap today is in the center of international discussion. And so our key message is that we need a stronger, a special place for culture, so that it is represented in a systematic and more integrated way. So if possible, please mute your microphone.
Takže takový nějaký turistický ten, aby
Yes.
stačil
Please.
manželce zavolat určit místo.
So next slide, please. So what is the solution? So one of the proposed solution is the introduction of a new specialized standalone culture goal. You see, we even have a nice place in the current system of 17 goals. And the proposed wording for this new culture goal is ensure cultural sustainability for the well-being of all. And actually, it's not only about adding one more goal. It's about recognizing that sustainable development cannot be achieved without culture. Because culture is directly linked to the cultural transformation, and everything, in every goal, we need this cultural transformation. And culture creates links between different SDGs. So when we analyze the current reports, for example, we see that different countries talk about culture when they describe their actions in education, in gender equality, sustainable cities, justice, inclusion, and so in many other SDGs. So we believe also that the culture goal should be, yes, there is a special place for a standalone goal, but culture actually affects all the other SDGs. The next slide, please. So, and it is within this context, next slide, yeah, that the culture goal campaign appeared, and ICOMOS is a part of the steering committee of this campaign. So it's a coalition of different cultural networks and organizations that advocate for a special role of culture in the next cycle of the UN Development Agenda. And as I mentioned, ICOMOS is an active member. Also, IFLA, International Federation of Library Associations, and UCLG, United Cities and Local Governments, ICOM, and International Music Councils. So you see all the members of the steering committee, but there are many more, and actually all significant cultural networks and organizations are united in this campaign to promote this standalone culture goal in the next cycle of UN agenda. So actually, the campaign appeared in 2013, and 2 years before this, the culture agenda, which is active now. And the goal was to introduce the culture goal in 2015, and it didn't happen. And so after the adaptation of this agenda, the current agenda from 2015 to 2030, this was renamed, and so now it became so Culture Goal Campaign. And this time we decided to start earlier, not 2 years before the start of the agenda. So we started really before to already create a solid basis so that everybody knows that there should be a standalone goal, and prepare all the preparation works, all the targets, indicators, and to find the practical examples and proofs that it is feasible, it is possible. So the campaign works in 2 directions. First is a strategic advocacy, as I said, to promote this message. So we need a standalone culture goal. And second, it works it has practical work, so it develops methodology, reporting tools, targets, indicators that demonstrates that a culture goal is not only politically necessary but technically feasible. And actually our today meeting also will demonstrate how culture can be operationalized. So how can we talk about culture and cultural heritage, not only in some descriptions and case studies, but more in a more structured way needed for policy advisors. Next slide, please. So within this campaign, as I said, ICOMOS has a special role. We are a member of steering committee, and but what's essential that actually ICOMOS has representations in every country. That's why this webinar is particularly important for us, because now we are talking to you, and we hope that you will help us also to raise awareness at your country level of this need, and actually who are the stakeholders. Usually these are ministries of foreign affairs, ministries of culture that are responsible to prepare the reporting for SDG, and usually they ask ICOMOS to help to draft this part of their reports. It's where actually we see the entry point at the national levels to introduce this idea of a need of standalone culture goal. And the second, as I said, is a technical feasibility. So currently the campaign already produced the culture goal, And in this culture goal, there are targets, and there is a target on cultural heritage. And so we will give you the link, and you will be able to use this framework when talking at your level, at national level, with the ministries or with the responsible body for SDG reporting. And so the last but not the least is contribute to preparing, to drafting these reports. And here the tools that we will be sharing can be helpful for you to present the information about culture and cultural heritage in a structured way. And so it's homogeneous in different countries. Next slide, please. So, as I said, the follow-up and reporting system of UN on SDG is called VNR, so Voluntary National Reports. And so there are some cycles, and every year a number of countries are preparing those reports. So on the site of SDG, we see which country decides to report this year. And these reports are becoming more and more influential because it's not only about reporting, it shows how the country talks about their sustainable development. What is the strategy of sustainable development? And it's extremely important for us how culture is described in these reports. If it is mentioned only one line, it means that the country doesn't see culture as an enabler and driver of sustainable development. But if, for example, we have a specialized chapter on culture where we talk a lot, maybe not a lot, but in a structure and a very constructive way about how culture promotes sustainable development, it really helps to show this place of culture in sustainability strategies of different countries. And for ICOMOS also, it opens an important opportunity because in this case, you are talking to governmental bodies in their language because they need to prepare these reports. And here, ICOMOS and cultural community in general can use this need to promote culture in the general strategies. Next slide, please. So we analyzed together with the campaign what is the current place of culture in those VNRs, and we see that actually it's very uneven. And sometimes it's, as I mentioned, only one line. In some cases, there are case studies, but what we see, it's very fragmented in very different parts. And there is no one way of presenting this cultural related information. And we see that also there is a lack of cultural indicators and reliable data. So also we will try to fill this gap with the tools we will be presenting. And so the key message is clear here. So culture is in the VNRs, but very fragmented and underrepresented. Next slide, please. So here are some examples. So of Malta and Micronesia, for example. So on the site of SDG reporting, we can actually download all the report and see how culture is represented. And so we see here, for example, Malta is very case study, so they are very, very detailed. Micronesia less detailed, but in general, we see that there is missing or common methodological approach. Next slide, please. So now how ICOMOS can contribute to this common work of all of the campaigns of all cultural network and organizations. So first part is strategic advocacy. So we would like to ask you to promote the idea of the Culture Goal campaign. So of this need to have one standalone goal at your level, at your national country level. And so this will help us to come from implicit role of culture. Everybody understands, and I think we take it as it's very obvious that culture is in the basis of sustainable development, but it's implicit. So we need an explicit role of culture. And second, we want to ask you to interact with, at your level, with the ministries of culture, with the ministries of foreign affairs, with the national SDG coordination teams, with the drafting teams of VNR. So it really depends on your country who is responsible of doing it. Usually it's foreign affairs who are preparing those reporting. And then they call Ministry of Culture or ICOMOS to help on this specific cultural part. So here we see how the dialogue can be started. And the second part is technical contribution. We would like to ask you to use the tools that we will be sharing today when helping to draft those reporting. So this will help us to show in the next reports that culture is increasingly recognized, that it has a special place in those reports. So we are trying to show it before the culture goal exists. We already want to show that countries already report on culture indicators. So it means that there is no other way than to include the culture goal in the next agenda. Next slide, please. So, and very practical, the next steps. So the first, we would like to ask you to designate an SDG contact point within your national committee. So maybe SDG working group representative can serve in this role. So with this person, it will help us to share the tools. To be a connection with our working group for any questions. So when you are drafting the SDG report, when you need to understand the role of indicators, where to take indicators, so all practical questions, we can support you in this. So second is very difficult and depends on your local situation. Engage key actors responsible for SDG reporting in your country. As I said, you shall have a look who is it in your country. And for the next cycle, so the next cycle of the reporting is expected in May, so in a year, in May 2027. It means that everybody will start drafting and preparing the reports in January. So if, for example, in September, October 2026, this year, you already start to understand who is doing it in your country, is your country going to publish this report? So starting from January next year, you can be able to integrate the process and to include this culture information in the VNR of your country. So this is an approximate calendar. So then the third step is the content development. So we would like to ask you, when you will be participating in this work, to prepare a narrative on culture and sustainable development, and to actually, the idea is talking about cultural heritage, not only about something that we need to protect, but which is a resource and enabler for sustainable development. So this is also the main idea of how we would like cultural heritage to be represented in this reporting. So the fourth is to promote structure inclusion of culture in this reporting. So we would like ideally to have an 18th chapter. Actually, there is no very prescriptive guidelines how to write those reports. So countries so they are free to choose how they do it. So they can actually create an additional chapter, culture chapter, and so that would be good for us, to promote our idea. And then the fifth is finally, so to use the proposed framework of the Culture Goal campaign. So you see the link on the slide, and I will then share it in the chat. I will briefly show you on the next slide how it looks like. So actually, this is the framework, the culture goal, and you have different 8 targets. And our target, culture heritage, is number 3. And then you have a list of indicators that can be used for this chapter. And next slide is the examples. And for example, we are talking about existence of management plans and the national budget for heritage protection, the number of heritage listings, and the presence of chapter on disaster risk reduction, climate adaptation, and heritage impact assessment in the management plans. So these are examples of the indicators that we would like to include. And in parallel of this global work that we are doing with all the other members of the campaign, the SDG working group also has developed a series of concrete tools designed to support actually this reporting and how to effectively document and represent cultural heritage in this sustainability reporting. And this, my colleague Andres will represent the tools, and you also have the links in the chat. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Olga.
Thank you very much, Olga. Okay. Hello, colleagues. You know, multilinguality is a very good thing. And actually, Latvian language sounds so rarely in this kind of meetings. So let me just greet you in my own language, okay? Cienījamie kolēģi, man ir tik tiešām milzīgs prieks jūs visus sveikt šodien šai jaukajai seminārā. Diemžēl nāksies turpināt angļu valodā, bet nu tik un tā. Man bija prieks ar jums sasveicināties latviešu valodā. I've just greeted you, colleagues, okay? So, okay. Today, we are introducing 2 new practical tools developed within the ICOMOS-SDG working group. And both tools are publicly available and freely accessible. Some of you had some troubles. I saw it in chat, but I guess, you know, when configuring your firewalls, it's going to be okay. Or personally, I use Firefox and Mozilla. I don't know, maybe we can use any kind of browsers like Edge and all the stuff that we have. So I guess this technical stuff will be okay with the accessibility of these tools. And these tools are intended actually to help cultural heritage actors explain more clearly how their work contributes to sustainable development. They can be used by heritage actors, public authorities, municipalities, civil society, project managers, and other stakeholders around the world, including outside ICOMOS. So we work not only for ICOMOS, we actually work globally. I would also like to stress that these resources are recommendations from the SDG working group and not mandatory reporting requirements. And the first of these tools helps structure cultural heritage information inside a VNR or VLR. And the second one helps collect evidence from concrete heritage actions or projects. But okay, let's enough this theory. Let's maybe take a look at the real tools. Okay, Naima, do I have a right to share?
I think you do. Try, otherwise I will make you host.
Okay, no problem. I will try to. Okay, can you colleagues see my screen?
It's come, yes.
Okay, very good. So here you can see the first tool. Actually, this is the web page of the SDG working group. So let me open, for example, English version. I work really online. Okay, and now we can see, hope you can see the title page.
Yes.
Of this wonderful publication in English language. Okay. And this is a tool that helps us to structure all the needed information regarding cultural heritage in the VNR or VLR. Okay. Here we have the content. It's actually quite simple, easy to understand, and it's based on a very thorough analysis of the VNRs submitted since 2023. And also, we analyzed a lot of guidelines and scientific and theoretical literature on that stuff. Okay, so actually, this is just like a recommendation. For sure, real VNR or VLR can also contain a lot of pictures, tables, graphs, all that stuff. Okay, this is regarding the VNR structure. And the mapping heritage, actually the fillable template, it also looks like a plaything, but actually this is quite important tool, which is intended for description any cultural action or a project. For example, a renovation project or any kind of restoration project or any training that you can have in a cultural field, all that stuff. The fillable template is currently available in 3 languages. French is coming. And I heard about some ideas regarding the translations into other languages as well, including Chinese and some languages coming from India. For example, here we can easily switch to Spanish version. Thank you very much, our colleagues, translators, for every language, for Spanish, French. We also have Arabic here, okay? And believe me, this is not that easy thing, you know, to make this stuff in Arabic, because it's a little bit different language, and hopefully it's gonna be okay with Chinese. Okay, let's return to English one. Just to let you see what is all about. Here, you put the basic information regarding the project and the person who fills it in. You fill information regarding the heritage context, and you see, actually, almost all the fields are coded. But in some fields, you can also put like free text, okay? For sure, when you switch versions from, for example, English to Spanish, all the codified fields will remain. So you will simultaneously have information in English, Spanish, French, and Chinese, for example, okay, in the future, okay? At the moment, for sure, all the free texts, they have been translated additionally, okay? What's important here, we also have logic regarding description of the cultural heritage project or any other action contribution to the SDGs for the first time. For example, here you can put some scores regarding the impact of the concrete cultural actions to the SDGs. Okay, here we also have logical control, and then you see that questions are actually connected together, and here I put the same score for several SDGs, which was a mistake. Let's do it like this, and now it's okay. Now I have like 5 SDGs scored at 9. Okay. And here I can make some description. Okay. Something like that. Okay. This way we can actually describe any cultural action. This is freely accessible. So colleagues, if you have time and will, you can of course play with this solution. But actually, I would like to stress that this is a very important stuff based on real science. And also here, we have an explanation of the SDG main focus areas. So what all these SDGs are about in the field of cultural heritage, okay? For sure, we do not pretend on the full character of this main focus areas. There may be also other main focus areas not listed here. That's why we usually have all that stuff called other, so you can always write your own information here, okay? Like this. And now, Naima, may I please ask you to return to the presentation?
Okay, sure.
Okay,
would you please share, Andres, please?
Sure. This is what I'm doing right now. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. The next slide, please, if you can. Thank you. Okay. Let's continue. Well, these tools were created because cultural heritage often contributes to sustainable development in practice, but this contribution is not always easy to report. In VNRs and VLRs, heritage-related information can appear in different places. Sometimes it's scattered across several sections, like, for example, indigenous knowledge, tourism, some kind of economic issues, and so on. And sometimes it's mainly descriptive and does not clearly show results, beneficiaries, or evidence. There are three practical difficulties: where to place heritage-related information, how to structure it, and how to collect evidence showing heritage contributions to the SDGs. And the tools respond to these needs. They help heritage actors present their work more clearly, and they help VNR and VLR authors use this information more easily. Next slide, please. The first tool is a structural framework for a cultural heritage subchapter in a voluntary national review or voluntary local review. It's not a rigid model, I would like to stress that, and it's not a scoring system. It's a practical drafting guide. Its purpose is to help authors organize heritage-related information in a way that fits SDG reporting. The framework proposes 7 parts: the role of heritage in sustainable development, governance and stakeholders, SDG contributions, selected practices, inclusion and equity, challenges and data gaps, and the next steps. And this helps move from general statements about the importance of heritage to a clearer, evidence-based, and policy-relevant narrative. Next slide, please. The second tool is the mapping template. It's more operational and action-based. The idea is simple. One completed template describes one heritage action. This may be a project, initiative, policy measure, local activity, or another type of heritage-related action. The template asks what was done, where and when it took place, who was involved, what results were achieved, who benefited, and which SDGs were supported. It also asks users to identify data sources, challenges, lessons learned, and possible future uses of the action. This makes the information easier to compare, summarize, and reuse. Completed templates are saved only on the computer of the person who fills them in. So we don't have any data problems, data sensitivity problems here. And the templates may be emailed to the SDG working group if needed, if you, for some reason, your colleagues need our help or support or something. Next slide, please. This slide shows how the template can be used step by step. First, the user accesses the template of the SDG working group webpage. The user then describes one heritage action, for example, a renovation project, including its title, place, timing, heritage resources, and stakeholders. Next, the user records the results, including outputs, observed outcomes, beneficiaries, and equity aspects. After that, the user identifies the most relevant SDG links and explains them briefly. The next step is to document the evidence, including data sources, methods, challenges, and lessons learned. The result is a short evidence package, and it shows what happened, who benefited, which SDGs were supported, and what proof exists. Beyond VNRs and VLRs, the template can also support project reporting, donor communication, advocacy, partnership building, and internal learning. So this is not focused only on SDG reporting, VNRs and VNRs. Okay, next slide, please. The two tools can be used separately, but they are strongest when used together. The mapping template helps collect evidence from individual heritage actions. It produces the raw material, facts, actors, outputs, outcomes, SDG links, beneficiaries, evidence, and lessons learned. The structural framework helps organize this material into a coherent VNR or VLR subchapter. It gives the broader reporting structure: national or local context, governance, examples, inclusion, challenges, and next steps. However, to use these tools effectively for an actual VNR or VLR, a national or local process is still needed. Public authorities, heritage institutions, municipalities, and other stakeholders should agree on how information will be collected, reviewed, summarized, and included in the final report. In simple terms, the template helps collect the evidence and the framework helps present it clearly. Together, they create a pathway from local heritage action to SDG reporting, but this pathway works best when supported by a clear national or local reporting system. And finally, colleagues, these tools should be seen as dynamic resources. When they can be improved, adapted, and further developed through use. We would therefore be grateful for your comments, opinions, and proposals. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Andres. And now I'd like to call for our translators. Architect Angela for the Spanish translation. Angela, are you here?
Yeah, hello. Okay, thank you. I will be really quick because Andres has explained really perfectly, and I will make also a little presentation in Spanish, as everybody we have made. Bienvenidos, bienvenidas todos a, bueno, a la comunidad hispanohablante a este trabajo. Que por mi parte la traducción creo que ha sido bastante completa. Esperamos que sea útil para todos vuestros compañeros, compañeras y tanto para todos los niveles de los agentes intervinientes en el patrimonio cultural. I continue in English because what I want to say also is it has been a pleasure to collaborate in the translation. I suppose it's a understood translation. It could be useful for everybody. And also I wanted to add that in the reference that we have in the information, in all the reference, the links to the official webs, we have tried to link into the Spanish document, but not always we have the Spanish documents available. So in these cases, then we have the document in Spanish. We have put the Spanish link, and if not, it's in English in the common language. Nothing more to say. That it has been. I'm sure that it's a really useful tool. This document, and you really see now in the website, it's really visual. But you don't know. I suppose that you can realize all the work that Andres and all the group have made, because at the beginning it was in a Word document, in a little hard to work, and they have managed to make it in a really visual and easy way to use it. And only to add that Andres has said also that this tool is to be used by professionals, the ICOMOS members, but also by heritage communities. I mean, the civil societies, all the people who work and who love culture works into all the culture ways. I think it could be a really useful tool. So we invite you to use it free and to tell us all your feedback. Nothing more. I let you. Thank you.
Gracias.
Gracias a ti.
Thank you so much. I call for Alban, qui était en charge de la revue de la traduction en français. Alban.
Yes, thank you. So it's going to be even faster than Angela. So I didn't do the translation. I just had a look on the translation of Khalid, who did that from Morocco. So a very good translation. So it's from English to French. So there was no big problem. I just had some. So it's pretty easy to understand if you're French. Pretty much the same text. I just had some kind of capital. But I can only be very, very fast because I'm not going to comment the content that I didn't really have a time to look very clearly. Well, for the French speaker, it's going to be an easy way to go through the text. That's all I can say. It's done. There is no further need to clarify more. It's pretty easy to understand. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alban. Merci. I don't know, like Angela mentioned, the document, the template was a Word-based document, and then there was a lot of work between Andres and our communication team member, Farnaz, Dr. Farnaz Faraji. I don't see her, she is here. Would you like to have a couple of words about what you did in the design?
Thank you so much. I mean, I don't have so many things to say. I'm just happy that I could kind of participate in shaping this kind of structural and also template and contributing for the SDGs. And yeah, well, we are trying. I mean, I'm trying to kind of improve the user interface of the form and also structure. If you see any deficiencies or any problems for now, just please be a little bit patient and I will try to address all of them. And thank you. Yeah.
Thank you very much, dear Naz, for your support. Farnaz also is in charge of the whole website and the layout of our newsletter. So I invite you to have a look beyond the template to the website and the content of the website, and also to our quarterly newsletter. The first issue is already online and it is on already there on the website. If you like what you see, it is all because of Farnaz. If you don't like, it is our mistake all. So we are all responsible for this. To conclude, thank you very much for your attention. Just I wrap up. We presented for you the work of the working group concerning the support for the development of the VLRs and VNRs, and also our work representing ICOMOS in the Culture Goal 2030 campaign. We are asking you to be, we are submitting these documents for you to be implemented, to use them, and to help us improve them and to help us collect also case studies. It doesn't have to be a successful, fantastic case study. Any case study with real problems, with real questions is a very good case study if you want to share it with us. Also, we wanted to emphasize the inclusivity and the multilingualism that we opted for in order to really stand by the word that we are saying, localizing the SDGs. We localize them also through languages and through approaching them to the different cultures. I have nothing more to say than thank you very much again for your attention, and we open the floor for your questions and remarks. And before that, if I may ask you to switch on your cameras for a collective picture, because you have been very brave to stay until the end, and we would love to have you on our website. So I will be taking the picture and I will ask Farnaz also to do the same. Hello, everyone. Smile, the first batch. Okay. One more. Smile. And there is a third page. Okay. smile. Thank you very much. So now the floor is yours. Please feel free to ask for the floor and share with us your questions or remarks or inputs.
How do we ask a question? Just ask it.
Maybe, okay, since there isn't a mass who want to speak, you may. Otherwise, you raise your hand, whether the virtual
Right.
hand, the
Right,
right
okay.
hand. Please go ahead, Peter.
I think a basic question, where is there an explanation of what is meant by culture in this context? I mean, I say that because very often in the UK, when you say culture, people immediately think of art or performing arts. And if you ask an archaeologist, it's more about a sort of anthropological meaning. So, between these two, and they're sort of perhaps at the extremes, but it'd be very useful just to have a sort of clear, I hesitate to use the word definition, but a clear at least explanation of what is the scope of culture. I mean, sometimes it's just taken to mean the opposite of natural, as if it's anything that emanates from mankind, which is very broad, of course. Okay.
Yes. Thank you very much, Peter. I'll take the first batch of questions and then we'll come to the discussion. Alban, please.
Yeah. Just maybe a very interested, I mean, for me, for example, do we have the ability to use it as to have practical exercise? I mean, we have a site, we use your tools, and we start to know what we are doing with it. To have practical exercise, to know the relevance of those tools. Just as an idea, I have a student, Naima, it's for you. This is my student. She's going back to Muscat, like for you. She was working on affective urbanism, like here in Ankara. And I felt this tool could be very interesting. Can it be used as us professor, as a test to know how it can populate something? Not to improve it for your side, but at least for us to understand, like what Peter was saying, what type of culture are we talking about? Do we talk about the same type of culture in different parts of the world? Could we have case studies exploring your system? It's again a question mark.
Thank you, Alban. I think your question will be answered by Andres, I think, and I will try to comment. I don't claim to give the answer about what is the definition of culture for Peter, but as far as ICOMOS is concerned, culture is all what has been produced by human, whether it is tangible or intangible, built heritage or cultural landscapes. So this is our conception of culture within the framework of ICOMOS. This doesn't eliminate the other definitions of culture as well, because we are, as we mentioned, in a campaign with other organizations. Among them, we have the music organization, performing arts, museums, etc. So from this perspective, culture can be the definition of culture can be as broad as all what entails the activities of humans in this perspective. Andres, you want to address?
I'm sorry, Naima. I gave actually the definition, which is UNESCO definition from Mexico City Declaration on Cultural Policies. So of course, it was a very important question at the beginning of the campaign, and everybody, all the members of the campaign agreed to use this definition. So it's very broad one because we really have libraries, archives, music council, museums, and cultural heritage organizations inside. That's why it's very broad one.
Sure. And maybe concerning Alban's question, if I may?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, thank you. It's a very relevant question, actually. For sure, we can use both tools for both tangible and intangible heritage. We can use it for every and each activity in the cultural field that we can imagine. For example, you can also show these tools to your students and make some exercises and all that stuff. In the very beginning, it was a couple of months before, we also prepared a specimen of a VNR and like a project description created by this tool. Okay, I called it like a VNR of Terra Incognita, if I'm not mistaken. So actually, we can share it. We had a thought on it, but okay, just at this very moment, we are more concerned with technical stuff regarding to the translations, all that stuff. But if it's needed, I guess for sure we can share this specimen, and maybe it will make it's more I don't know, clear, and maybe it can be of use. It can be of use. I don't know.
Thank you very much, Andres. Klaus-Peter, please go ahead.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I'm muted or not. No?
We can hear you, Klaus-Peter.
Okay, thank you. In the chat, Clara from UK asked what Mondiacult, the last meeting of Mondiacult, had results about this. Could someone explain us about real main results, not all, of course, but really important results of Mondiacult about this topic?
Yes, I think as a campaign, 2030 goal campaign, we were expecting for more than what we got in Mondiacult 2025. We hoped for a kind of declaration in the same way as in Mondiacult 2023 in
Mexico.
But it wasn't there. So the last moment, the declaration was not there. However, there was a huge input from the different ministers to support the standalone goal, and a promise for further work to have a declaration in 2027 in Saudi Arabia. But in 2025, it was just a reminder of the previous declaration and the support for the continuous work to back the standalone goal.
Thank you very much.
Most welcome. I don't know if there were questions in the chat. I couldn't see the chat.
If nobody's going to intervene, perhaps I could just confirm that I can see the various papers that have been shown to us on the working group's website, and I can get printouts, can I, from there?
Yeah, of course. Yes.
Right,
Yes,
good.
they are open for everyone to use. The template and also the subchapter structure. And if you want, also this is our suggestion as a working group. If a national committee or an organization where ICOMOS members are active want us to explain further and to support with this template and this chapter, we are also ready to give focused capacity building or support in that. This is what we offer as well. Yes, Sonia, please go ahead.
Yes, hello everybody. Congratulations on your work. It's really a big thing done. I was never at your meetings, and I'm not a member of the group, but I'm leading quite a big national project related to the it is named Heritage for Inclusive Sustainable Transformation, and we developed a sustainability-led planning approach for adaptive reuse projects in Slovenia. I'm from Slovenia. Very sorry that I didn't introduce myself. I'm also president of ICOMOS Slovenia. It is quite complex tool, but it shows that we can build on all 4 pillars of sustainability. We started with that. We said that not just 3, let's say, conventional pillars, but 4 pillars are the basis of sustainable development. And we said that actually cultural heritage or abandoned heritage, let's say so, because we were focused on adaptive reuse projects, is sustainable capital of local communities. Yeah. And yeah, we developed, as I said, quite complex tools, which have like 2 assessment tools within the project development. Yeah, we are finishing in September. Project will finish. I hope I'll be able to present it also on General Assembly. And maybe I would be really interested to have a discussion with members of your working group, as this tool is of course developed in within national context, but we are really wide group. We have 37 member researchers included in research from 14 fields, and we try to really yeah, let's say developed or built on this wide podium of SDGs. But as I said, we built on this. We set 4 sustainable capitals or 4 sustainable pillars, and the methodology will be finished by September. So this may be just a suggestion for further cooperation, because I would really be glad to share what we've done with you. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Sonia. So it's really interesting what you've just presented. And definitely we are interested to have a closer communication first, and then eventually collaboration. So whenever you would like to just drop us a line to our email, and we'll be there. The precision that I would like to make is that the template that we developed is a quite the purpose of it is mainly addressed to facilitate collection of information and data to feed within the VNRs and VLRs. It was specifically focused for this purpose. And why we are presenting it to you is, first of all, I know the ICOMOS membership are very creative people, so you can use it in many, 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 many ways. But our main goal in this presentation is if you have any contact or if you are approached by your own government who are doing these VNRs, or an organization who is preparing a VLR, is to help them through this template, because the idea is that having a unified data collection so that we can compare things and not having a lot of information from different countries with different languages. I mean, languages in terms of organization. So this was the main purpose of this template. And of course, it is open to be used freely by any organization or researchers or educators to play with it and to develop it. And also it is open, like Andres said, it is open to progress, to be also developed through your input and your remarks with us. We are very interested to know the end of your project, Sonia. Very good luck in that.
Yes,
And
thank you.
from now, you are a guest in our bi-monthly meeting to present us your project.
Yeah, I would love to, and because we also developed our, now we are finishing our methodology in a way that people from local communities or NGOs or those who are developing projects would be able to use it, that it is not too complicated, you know. At least in some parts, in this, let's say, assessment parts, it should be done. It is prepared, we believe so, that could be broader understand, and on the other hand, that we can show what are the benefits immediately in the already within the process of planning. This is somehow what's important for us. You will see. We are preparing also a book, but it will take some time. But yeah.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Looking forward to it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I don't know if there is no more questions or remark. I will ask Reen to give us her last words for this webinar and to adjourn the meeting. Thank you very much.
Dear colleagues, thank you so much for participating at the meeting. And I'm extremely happy that we have had such a big attendance. There was almost 100 people at some point, and it's rather typical that they drop off. But and thank you very much for all your kind questions, and especially big thanks to the team who organized this meeting: Naima, Olga, and Andris. It was a pleasure to notice how many questions you had. And I don't hope, but I'm sure that this meeting served its purpose. And we will keep in touch, and please follow our webpage for the further information. Thank you.
Thank you very much, all.
Thank
Goodbye.
you. Bye.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.